Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about how to deal with that self-doubt. Lately, I've been getting lots of emails from viewers that are either medical coders that are brand new or they are in medical coding school. And that horrible self-doubt feeling starts coming into play. How can I do this? I'm not going to be able to do this. And I'm not going to be able to memorize all of these things. And what if I get in and I decide I don't like it? And the what ifs and the what if I can't all starts to flood in, okay? When this happens, you have to learn to get control over it. Every single one of us as medical coders has gone through this, whether it was when we were taking our certification exams in the beginning or when we were transitioning over to ICD-10. We all went through this, okay? And there are some of us that it just clouds and clouds and clouds our mind and our thoughts, and it keeps us from being the best potential medical coder that we can possibly be. You have to decide for yourself one thing. Are you going to let that happen to you or not? Are you going to be one of those ones that just gives up? If you are, well, then you know your answer. But if you say, no, I really can do this, then you will. It's all up here, literally. I know it sounds cliche and it's always said all the time, but literally the only one stopping you is you. If you believe that you can do something, you can do it. If in your head you start thinking, I'm a bad test taker, I'm a bad employee, I don't know what I'm doing, it's okay to feel like you don't know what you're doing. What is not okay is when you just give up and you get so stubborn that you won't ask for help or you won't look for other resources to help you understand. Obviously, if you're here, you're doing the right thing, okay? If you're here, you're looking for other resources to help you. Now, I'm not saying I know everything in the book, okay? But what I am is an experienced medical coder. That's what I am. And I really love what I do. I am one of those, okay? I really do love what I do. So whenever I hear somebody say, well, I can't do this, or I don't know if I'm going to be able to pick it up. Yes, you can. Because like I said before, and I will say this again and again and again until I'm blue in the face, the only one stopping you is you. You have to make a decision for yourself. If you are wanting to do this, if you are wanting to get ahead in your life, and if you want to change your life, if you were, maybe you were like me, who was working all of these dead-end jobs. I mean, I was literally working dead-end jobs. I was just barely trying to make ends meet. And I was tired of it. I was physically tired all the time. And I wanted to do something different with my life. And because I had that motivation and that drive, that is what took me through parts of getting through school. There were times when I was so overwhelmed with all of the information that I had to learn. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'm just so overloaded. I'm so frustrated. And my mom would tell me, okay, now is the time for you to stop and just take a step back. This means that you need to take a break. It's okay to take a break. She would tell me it is okay to take a break. You don't have to try to save the world. Just save your energy at this moment, because it just becomes so overwhelming that you literally cannot absorb anything. If you were in school, take my word for it. When you get into those modes, just stop. Give yourself a break. Maybe take a walk or just get a drink of water. Relax for a little while, okay? Give yourself an hour to just take a break. Now, remember, go back to it and stick with it, but just give yourself a breather, because of all of the information that you're having to absorb and go through, and it just gets to that point where you're just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? How do I process all of this information? You can, and you will. And as you continue on as a medical coder, you'll do it even more. And then it'll be easier for you. Once you start learning like the tricks of where to find information, okay, because you don't have to know everything, but you have to know how to find the answers. And once you know how to find the answers, that's going to take a lot of that anxiety away, because then you know how to look for help. And that's the thing. If you know you have a lifeline, if you know that there's something that you can look at to figure something out, it makes it so much easier. And it makes it where you're like, well, now I know where to find it. And you will feel such a sense of pride when you do find out things on your own. And if you need to reach out for help, reach out for help. I mean, that's why I do this channel as well. I've gotten all kinds of questions. I don't think that there is a stupid question. Okay, so if you think, oh, I'm going to ask this question, it's so stupid, there is no such thing as a stupid question. What is the saying? The only stupid question is the one that's not asked. I think that's the way it says. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? You can do this. You can absolutely do this. I promise you. If you apply yourself, you can do this, all right? This is just my opinion. You don't have to take my word for it. And, you don't even have to agree with me. That's fine. But I'm telling you now, if you need to hear it, I'm telling you now. Everybody went through this. Everybody had that same self-doubt. Everybody had that same worry. Am I going to be able to pass this exam? Am I going to be able to get a job? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to do that? I looked for 2 months diligently for work. I continued to work at the concession stand, at the bar, at the halfway house. This was a rough time for me, but I still did it. I was very blessed because I had a wonderful support system with my mom, who was Superwoman. Okay, and she is the reason that I got through medical coding school. She is the reason that I am where I am today, because she motivated me, she helped me, and she was there and she supported me. Now my mom is gone, and it's my turn to pass on that same energy to everyone else. So if you're out there and you have nobody supporting you, or maybe you have some people telling you that you can't do it, yes, you can. There is nothing anywhere that says that you can't do this if you absolutely want to. If you want to do it, you can do it. And don't give up on yourself. The only one that's going to be able to really make you do anything is yourself. You have to believe that you can do it. You have to know that you know how to find the answers. That's the thing. The key is knowing how to find the answers. Because if you just sit there and just straight give up, I don't know how to do this. Are you making an effort to look? And are you making an effort to try to find out more? If you're doing that, then you're on the right path. And we all go through that period of shaping. I call it shaping as medical coders, okay? And it's going to be rough. And you're going to get some bruises, and you're going to get some bangs, and you're going to get some hair pulling. You know what I mean? And you're going to go through that. You are absolutely going to go through that. And you're going to wonder some days, am I smart? Do I know what I'm doing? You know what I mean? You are going to go through that. But you have to continue to go through it. You have to get through that uncomfortable feeling, because that's what it'll do to you. It'll make you so uncomfortable that you're going to want to give it up. You're going to want to run for the hills. You're going to want to run and do something else. But stick with it. There's a reason that you got into it. And if you got into it for a good reason, which is that you wanted to do something different with your life, you wanted a better life, you wanted to be a good role model for your kids or for your family members or something. If you wanted to do it for a noble and good reason, then you are on the right path. If you are in an environment that you are not comfortable in, and that's the reason that you don't like it, change your environment. Look for another job. Look for another field like that you can still do medical coding in. Okay, there are so many things. There's insurance companies that you can work for. There's a lot of different things that you can do. There's billing. There's medical records. There's lots of things that you can do as a medical coder. But you just have to apply yourself, and you have to try. That's the most important thing, is as long as you keep moving. And when you get knocked down, gotta get right back up. Who is it? There's that song, Tub Thumper. I think that's the name of the song. Anyway, it's from the 90s. All right? Summer of 97, it came out. Chumbawamba, Tub Thumper. Yes, that's the name of the song. But that song was like the anthem of 1997, okay? I loved that song. I still love that song. I still crank it up in my car every time I hear it. Because, yes, I listened to the 90s. That was from my time, okay? So anyway, getting back on topic, I want you to know that yes, you are going to fall. Yes, you are going to have those moments where you get knocked down and you don't want to get right back up. But do it. Get right back up and get right back into it. Because this milly-mally thing of maybe I can't, why don't you change that to I can do this? This is a little difficult, but I can work it. I can do this. I can get this done. Okay? And that goes with any aspect in your life. It doesn't have to be just medical coding. It could be literally anything. Okay? If you've been watching my videos, you all know that I had to cook for over 100 people. It was like 130 people I ended up cooking for. Did I flinch? No, because I love doing it. I love cooking. And it's funny, the more people that got put on this list to come to this party, the more that the church administrator was getting more nervous. And I could tell that she was getting nervous because she didn't, I don't want to say that she didn't have faith in me, but I feel like because she didn't really know my abilities, but I believed in myself. I believed that I could do it. This was no big deal. This is how my thought process was. I love what I'm doing. This is no big deal for me. And she would call me up and she would say, "Oh, Blue, we have 20 more people coming. Can you handle it?" Bring it on. It's fine. "Oh, are you sure?" "Yes, I am sure. Bring it on. It's fine." "I'm going to have to buy another pack of meat." "Go ahead." Do it because I can do it. And sure enough, I went to go turn the key in to the social hall on Friday, right? I haven't had a chance to tell you guys this. I went to go turn the key in because I had the key the days that I had been in there. And I was turning it in and I needed to turn in the money that she had also given me to go shopping with. So I had some change. I was taking it back to her. And as soon as I went into the church office, I have the priest on one side telling me, "Oh, hello, Miss Blue." He calls me by my name. Never have I ever heard the priest call me by name. Ever. So he was very happy. He was very, very glad, and he was very happy with the results of the party. I go in and I'm talking to the church administrator, and she is the same way. She is elated. So she sits me down and she tells me, "You know, Blue, I had more than a few people telling me how wonderful the food was." Good. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. So she says, "You worked so hard." To me, my attitude was the whole time that I could do it. Anybody else might have been a little nervous that, oh, it's a lot of people, it's a lot of work. But to me, I already knew the task at hand. I knew what I had to do. And to me, it was just like, okay, I could have cooked for another 50 people. I mean, it really wouldn't have mattered to me. I knew what to do. I knew how to plan. I knew the hours that I needed to do this. It was no big deal. It's all about your perspective and how you're looking at things. If you know that you have to take this test, you can do it. If you've been through this program for medical coding, you've been taking the little quizzes here and there whenever they have quizzes, and you've been passing them, right? Because you've been making it through all the modules, haven't you? And then you get to the end of it, and now you're ready to take the test. Don't start in with that, "Oh, what if I can't do it?" Yes, you can, because you got through the program. You can pass that test. It's all up here. You got to make sure that you just relax. You can do this. Because at the end of the day, what happens? One or two things is going to happen, right? You're going to pass or you're not going to pass. What happens if you don't pass? You just take it again. There's no law that says you can't take it again. And you take it again if you don't pass. which, yes, you can pass. Just relax and rely on the things that you've learned. Do the things that I've suggested as well. Practice on your speed. Make sure that you are reading your guidelines. Make sure that you're doing flashcards. And although my exercises are not official, I'm always going to plug for these, okay? Because I work hard on these, all right? I work hard to come up with Quiz Friday. And some people don't like them. Oh, well, you know what I mean? I still do them anyway because I'm not doing them for the naysayers. I am doing them for everybody else who wants to get a look at what this kind of questions that are going to be out there when they're in the real world, okay? Because book coding and real world coding is two different things, okay? I say this all the time. Now, some people may get thrown with that statement of, really, it's different? Well, colloquially, the way the doctors speak is completely different. Completely different from the book, okay? So, just something to consider. You will learn these things after a while, and some of it is common sense, and some of it is going to be that you'll learn the habits of your provider. And although it may sound like a lot, I always talk in detail. Everything that I say is in detail because I'm a very detailed person. I would rather people know and be expecting these things than to not know and then get out in the real world and be like, holy crow, what do I do? You'll be a little bit more prepared, right? Because you've been doing research on your own and you're here. You're here and you found a medical coder who really loves medical coding. Come on, guys. You can do it, okay? And don't worry that self-doubt happens to everybody. But you can do it, okay? Now, like I said, if all else fails, just do it again. I've known people who have taken their certification exams several times, and then they finally passed. So if they can stick with it, you can stick with it, okay? Because if you don't do something to change what you're doing or where you are in your life, what are you going to do then? Okay, and not having direction, I think, is more stressful than if you actually have a direction, you know where you're going, and then you may take a few wrong turns to get there to the end result, but then you still get to the end result. You have a goal, okay? If your goal is to become a medical coder, then do it. Then go for it. Nobody's stopping you. Well, what if I can't find a job when I get out of school? Well, do you think I had it easy when I got out of school? No. 2 months I spent looking for a job. And I still worked. I say this all the time. I still worked. And I wasn't working no desk job either. I was on my feet. Okay? Because medical coding ain't no pizza job. I mean, it ain't no like restaurant job. It isn't, something that you can just do on your spare time, here or there, willy-nilly. It takes commitment. It takes investment. Okay? So I did it all. I've done food service. I've done housekeeping. I've done bar work. I've done it all. Okay? And I love what I do. I wanted a change in my life. And that was my motivation. Look at your motivation. When all else fails and you can't seem to get out of that hamster wheel of thought, look at your motivation. What is motivating you? Is it your life? Is it that you want to do something better? Is it for your kids? Is it for your family? What is it for? Don't say it's for the money, because if it's for the money, then that's the wrong reason. People get into it, and they get into it for the money, and then they hate it. Because it's a lot of reading. You have to like to read. You have to like to study. You have to like to be able to communicate with providers. And yes, you can be an introvert and still do this. There are people that are introverts and they have the other people, like the clinical documentation improvement specialist, take care of the provider side. And that's fine. That's a good working relationship if everybody knows what their role is. But if you don't have that, you need to be prepared. Okay, this is how you prepare, right? By doing your own research. So if you're here because you're doing research, good for you. That's awesome. Keep it up, because that's what's going to help you. So that's enough of my point of view on that one, because I mean, it's true. So you can do it. All right? And be proud of yourself. Celebrate your wins. Celebrate those wins. When you do good, feel good about it because you worked for it. You worked hard for it. Same thing when you pass your certification exam. Go celebrate. You worked hard for it. Eat ice cream. Live on the wild side. Eat ice cream. I love ice cream. Oh my God. Ice cream. Oh, so good. Cookies. Oh. My only two vices, really. But I'm just saying. Celebrate. Go out, have a good time. And then get back out there and do your thing. And when you're out there and you're applying and they say, oh, we need 1 to 2 years experience, apply anyway. Apply at the temporary agency. Get some experience on your resume. Okay? And don't say I can't do that because yes, you can. Other people do it. I did it. And now I'm where I want to be. I still have more to go. But I'm here and I'm doing it. And I'm sharing it with all of you. I'm sharing it with the world now. A thought that I never even thought of in the beginning when medical coding found me. Literally, it found me. I didn't even know this field even existed when I got into the program. Honestly, I didn't. I had no idea, no clue at all. That's why I always say it found me. So this profession is where I need to be. Okay, so if you've been thinking about it a long time, hey, go for it. You have just as much shot as anybody else of having a good time at work or having a really good working relationship with your providers and things like that. Okay, so you have to love what you do. You're going to be working it at least 40 hours a week for at least 20 or 30 years. You have to enjoy it. Whatever you do. Doesn't matter if it is medical coding or if it's something else. You have to enjoy what you do in life because that's what you're going to be doing for a lot of hours. You may as well enjoy it. You get only one life out there, people. I'm just saying. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So, I will be back tomorrow for Q&A Tuesday. I have a very good list going. I have a very good list going. Now, I will say this. There are going to be some questions on there that are more of statements. So they're not really going to be questions, some of them. But I still have room. There's still some slots open for more questions. So I'm going to be finishing out the list tonight. If you have any more, let me know. You can shoot me an email. I will include my email address down in the description box below. So if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. Okay, I will see y'all on the next episode. Bye!